Good evening and welcome back. Ooh, hello, sister. Welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Talento Ma Taylor, aka Talent El Idolo Deportivo Taylor, Talent aka New Year Save the Bear Taylor, Talent aka the Motor Mouth of the South Taylor, aka Mr. Energy. Yo, it's another Enfuego day in the hottest city in the world. Ooh boy, it is officially January 30th. Current temperature right now is, where we at today? 72 degrees. We had highs of 83 today, lows of 68. Welcome to officially Volume 8, Episode 54, Track 508 of the MyT Sports Podcast. Boy, do we have a big show lined up for you today. Listen, we're going to get into it all. I already know that you know. Whoa. Hold on, let's bring this down just a little bit for you guys. That's a little bit better. All right. I know you guys already know. We got the Super Bowl. That's officially set. We're going to get into those winners, those losers, all of that. We got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys again. I hope you... Actually, you know what? The Blue Chew promo code is actually going up right now on the bottom of the screen if you guys are watching the tickler. So we got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys again today as well. We're going to talk about the Empire Trash building, right? We're going to talk about these soft superstars, these superstar refs. We got birthday shout-outs, allegedly, to give out. You know how we do. We try to do a little birthday shout-out every single time that we start the podcast, right? Listen, we got this week's Power Rankings. We got Jalen Hurts. I didn't write anything down about Jalen Hurts' parents. I may save that for Wednesday's show. Wednesday's show, we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts' parents. I don't know if we're going to have time today. I really don't know if we're going to have time today. We got Candace Parker moving. We got Breanna Stewart possibly moving. We got Rocky striking back again. The Garden was saved. Thank God the Garden was saved. We got the NBA trade deadline. Brooklyn versus LA going on right now. That may have just wrapped up. We have all that and more coming up next right here on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here. Regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. And you know what? We like to get we got to get some inspirational words in here. Coach, help us out.
Play to win the game. Hello?
And that is definitely true. Let's go ahead and get into our MyT topic of the day.
MyT!
All right. And if you guys don't know, our MyT topic of the day is the very first topic that we like to talk about. It's the kind of topic that kind of supersedes all other sports topics. Kind of a sidebar from sports. Let's go find something else to watch, first of all. I told you one game just ended. So let's go find the next game that we need to put on. Because we like to have a little game going on in the background. And while I do have the very last Monday Night Raw of the year playing, because I'm super behind, I still want to see what's on tonight. Damn. There's not a lot of choices. Sacramento and Minnesota, that's a good one. Sacramento being the best team in Cali right now. Golden State Warriors versus Oklahoma City. We'll see. We'll peek into that just a little bit. Washington versus San Antonio Spurs. Detroit versus Dallas. You get to see Luka, but even a little bit of the rookie Ivy. Maybe we'll peek into that a little bit later. We got Toronto versus Phoenix. You know what I mean? The only reason we'll watch that game is to scout a couple of players from Toronto. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. Is that Bubs? No, that's not Bubs. What's going on, Collectibles? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. All right, it's almost been since our last wrestling event. That's been a while. How you been? How have you been? So let's see. You know what? Let's start with Sacramento, Minnesota. We'll go from there, and then we'll go around the league and see how everything else is working for tonight. All right, let's start off with our MyT topic of the day. Now, I had a different topic lined up for today, and then I got blindsided. I got completely blindsided. So, we may have a double whammy, right, for our MyT topic of the day. Because there's some things I just can't let off the hook, but there's also some things that you just can't let slide. You just can't, it's just so good to pass up as well too, right? So our first MyT hour, give it to me. MyT topic of the day goes out to Brevin Galloway. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this name, but Brevin Galloway, the guard out of Clemson, recently is in the hospital. Recently was hospitalized. Oh yeah, recently hospitalized. Big things happening. Big things happening. Right? Recently hospitalized because his nut exploded. Pardon me for a second. Sorry, allergies always. His nut exploded. Now, can I tell you I caught this story while breezing through like the what's trending topics. And you know, this is kind of like Friday, right? Because we did our first ever Freestyle Friday for Friday's show. We will have that show up pretty soon. But for that, we just couldn't pass it up. Like, that's honestly what it was. We could not pass that up whatsoever. And what ended up happening, right? What really ended up happening was that it's like a car wreck that I couldn't turn away from. Okay, Sacramento game, right? We have the Sacramento Kings with 93 and Minnesota with 94. There's about 2.5 minutes left into the game. Anthony Edwards just dropped a bucket to put Minnesota up by 3. Yeah, we'll stay here. We'll stay here until the end of the game. Ooh, with the running floater. All right, back to a 1-point game. De'Aaron Fox with the runner. Wants a little bit of contact, but we already know that you have to really earn it these days to get a contact call from the ref. We'll get into that a little bit later on the show as well. So, our MyT topic of the day. Back into our MyT topic of the day. All right?
MyT!
Thank you. Get me back on track. Clemson guard Brevin Galloway recently was hospitalized because his nut exploded. And automatically, I had to click. You know, this is one of my what's trending for me topics. I had to click. Couldn't turn away. It was a car crash. And I'm not a rubbernecker. But it kind of sounded like something else for half a second. Well, I'm not a rubbernecker, right? But I couldn't help it. They got me. I clickbait. Because I wanted to see the video. Like, if there was a video involved, I wanted to see how did you bust your nut. Right? Like I guess call it my porn addiction, right? But I was curious automatically. Ooh, Anthony Edwards is over 30 points today. I wanted to see, De'Aaron Fox at the free throw line missed his free throw. Sacramento gets the offensive board. They get the ball back, right? Game was 96-98. De'Aaron Fox does a step back 3-pointer. Sacramento up by 1. Nobody is talking about what De'Aaron Fox is doing this year. He could possibly win. Was it comeback? Was it most else? What did they give most improved player? There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. He can get most improved player this year. Because honestly, Matt Barnes with the block, but they call a foul at the rim. Honestly, he's having one of those MVP-like seasons, but like Memphis's guard, I don't know why I'm forgetting Ja Morant's name. All right. Rudy Gobert is 17 points and 12 rebounds, 7 for 9 shooting at the line right now. Let's see if he puts up a clanker with his team down by 1. No, he makes it. So, minute and a half left in this game. Game is tied 9-9. We're gonna party like it's 1999. Ooh, 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 Darren Fox rocking him to sleep. Bucket in the paint. What a 199. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back into it. I had to click, right? And automatically, right? Because of like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but the moment that I heard that he busted his nut, right? I was like, okay, I want to see the video. I want to see what kind of blunt trauma he took to the scrotum to cause him to bust his nut. Right? Because I'm thinking it's going to be a basketball play or something like that. I mean, you know how, because, I say it happens. Like, we've seen players accidentally get kicked in the jaw, right? Because, from players jumping by on a closeout. So, it wouldn't be surprised that, hey, maybe somebody Draymond Greened him. You never know. Remember when Draymond Green was out here kicking everybody in the dick and calling it an accident? You notice how that natural movement is no longer in his body muscle memory, right? Ooh, who's that? I like that jacket. It's pretty dope. It's a bandana kind of look. So like I said, so call me a weirdo, right? But I wanted to see the tragedy. I wanted to see the trauma. I wanted to see what play happened, because I wanted to know if it was a routine play, if it was just something that freakish happened on the court. I was thinking something happened on the court, but no, that's not what happened to Brevin Galloway, Clemson guard, who busted his nut. He went to go work out. He was clanging and banging. Went home, took a nap, woke up, exploded sack. That's literally all it was. So, in a weird way, I'm under the assumption that there's some other factors that we don't know, right? Unless exploding sacks is just a normal thing for guys that work out. And if that's the case, why are we all rushing to work out? If the side effect of lifting dumbbells is exploding sack, I'd rather be fucking fat. Like, fuck that. So, back to it. I have a feeling that there's something else involved. Like, he took a pre-workout, but the night before he was drinking. But he also popped a Xanny and a Blue Chew. You know what I mean? I don't want to say he was partying. We're not gonna say he's a drug addict. I'm gonna say he was partying. Maybe I feel like they did something weird, right? Like maybe he was taking shrooms and then also took a Blue Chew. Like I don't know why I keep going to Blue Chew, even though Blue Chew is one of our sponsors. I feel like he took something that overstimulated his heart, overstimulated his blood flow. That's what I feel like. That's the reason why also the first thing I went to was like maybe he took a pre-workout. You know what I mean? He took something to open up those blood vessels. And I think in doing that, maybe he caused a little bit too much blood flow to head down to the sack, and next thing you know, black. You know, who knows? Maybe he got overstimulated the night before, didn't get a chance to bust that nut. Maybe he was suffering from blue balls and took a pre-workout. Again, there's not enough information that has passed out. I am doing a whole bunch of reckless like speculation here. But I'm thinking off the top of the dome, right? Like I'm you know what they do? You know. Remember what they taught us in school? Like when you get that thought cloud. That's what I'm doing. I'm thought cloud, and I'm just like pulling all those thought ideas, and I'm like, okay, what else could possibly just cause a motherfucker to bust a whole entire nut, right? While he's working out, when people have worked out all the goddamn time, and you just don't hear about nut busting being a regular thing. Or is it, and I just don't know about it because I'm not part of the workout community? Like, you guys tell me. Hit me up in the chat. You guys let me know. Is testicular explosion a common thing for people that work out? Now, if your answer is, well, yeah, were you taking a pre-workout or post workout or during workout? Like were you taking cocaine to help you work out? You know what I mean? Like I want to know like every little detail, like from your medicated habits, like leading up to that explosion, your party habits and your drinking habits, your eating habits, your sexual stimulation habits. Did you recently get kicked in the ding ding or not? Like, I want to know all of it. I should make a questionnaire. I should definitely just make a questionnaire. But I'm curious. Like, all of that right now is on my mind. Like, you guys let me know. Hit me up in the chat. Right, the chats is all open. And if you're listening, don't forget that there are ways to call in and interact with the show as well. If you like to call in, you can call in through Instagram, you can call in through Podbean, or you can hit me up directly on my phone line. Yeah, I'll answer we answer phone calls directly. We take phone calls on the air. Fully on the air. And Podbean is actually the #1 way for you the easiest way for you to get connected to us. A few very special few of you, maybe like 20 of you, may have the back channel line. If you have that, that's officially open as well. I know somebody what? There's a back channel line, of course. You guys don't know that by now. Every radio, listen. It's not just me. It's not just me over here being biased and doing crazy off the wall shit. Ooh, I forgot I was liquor for a second. I really did. What's the other thing I was drinking? Ooh, end of regulation. This game is tied 103. We get overtime again. Let's see if California is going to be involved in another overtime controversy. But look, De'Aaron Fox drives to the lane. Right, that's the last play of the game. Is the last play of the game? Yeah, look at that. Nobody complaining about fouls there. Yeah, you don't see nobody over here overreacting. You know what I mean? Banging on the ground, looking like they just discovered that the planet of the apes was also the planet of the man. Why? You destroyed it. You destroyed everything. Like, it could have been something like that, but it's not. But let's get back into Brevin Galloway for half a second, right? While his nut did inflame and explode, right? He went to the hospital, right? They put him on the little. That's not funny, phone. My phone has perfect comedic timing, but that's fucked up. He got surgery, right? Put him with the anesthesia. He got some surgery. His balls are back to normal size. That's what he said. That's what he says on his Instagram, right? They're back to normal size. That's the report. But outside of his safety, right? Obviously, which is probably the most important thing that out of all of this, right? Is his safety. The higher stakes, the better Kansas City defense plays. All of Steph Curry's ejections. Listen, I just got some notifications. I wanted to see if anything worthwhile. Whoa, we down to 9%? Hold up. Are we not charging the way I want to charge? Oh no, the phone ain't gonna last like this. We ain't gonna last at all like this. What are we charging over here? We are not charging. Why are we charging? Because I didn't stick it in all the way. Sounds like a user error. My bad. But every time I stick it all the way, you say ouch. Like shit. Or which I assume is phone for ouch. Oh, okay. So the most interesting thing, right? So obviously, the biggest thing here is that is that Brevin Galloway is safe, right? His nuts is back to normal. Any other further updates about the functionality of his ball sack? I don't know. I don't have in-depth details about that. But the very cool and interesting thing, right, that did happen was that he got himself a nutty NIL deal out of it. Which, shit, a win's a win, right? This week like, yo, a win's a win. A win's a win. A win's a win. A win's a win. Like I'm sorry. Like you can't. I mean, you can't beat that. Like you have a tragedy, and as a college player, they were like, "Yo, let's go ahead and find a way to get you paid from your pain." And listen, isn't that what half of the entertainment world does anyway? Especially when you're singers, you get paid from your pain. R&B singers, like they make up, break up, and then sing about it, right? So let's this is exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you very much. We're gonna mute this though. Now, second topic of the day, second MyT topic of the day, which is the original MyT topic of the day. I ain't gonna lie, Stone Cold Steve Austin, as I'm watching this little interaction, not only does he look old, he looks drunk and old. Listen, I'm not gonna be. I won't be. Yeah, listen. Yeah, he definitely. I wouldn't be shocked if Stone Cold was definitely tipsy or twisted before this match. Like at this point in time, like who's gonna stop Stone Cold from making sure that he's shit faced drunk if he wanted to be one before a match? As long as he don't act like the Sandman did that one time, right? If you don't know, go look it up. Sandman drunk in indie wrestling. Oh yeah, oh yeah. that was one of the big unprofessional moments in wrestling that you hope never ever happens again. And I can't remember who it happened to, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it happened to somebody that I am friendly with in the wrestling world. I can't say like I don't know them personally, right? You know, most of them I don't keep in contact with personally, right? Some of them I do, some of them I don't, right? Some of them we see each other in passing, some of them we don't. You know what I mean? Some of them we stay in Facebook, some of them we don't. But bonds are built every day, and it's how you hold on to those bonds and how you cherish them. It's really, really. Stop rambling about bullshit. All right, let's continue. I'm trying to be all enlightened and shit. It's the way that you hold on to these bonds and you nourish them that turns them from a ember to a raging, burning forest of love. Like, no, fuck off. Because right now, I may have like a burning rage, but it's not a forest of love. It is complete and utter disgust. And when I say disgust, right? Do I have a reason to play this for any reason anytime soon? I don't think I do. Okay. When I say disgust, I mean like true and utter disgust from what I've seen recently from the Empire Trash Building.
Ew.
Sorry, I'm watching the best of from the best of this year from WWE, and they're showing the match with Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. When Johnny Knoxville ran a bowling ball into his dick. Yeah, there's a lot of dick shit going on today. Pardon me. There's a lot of genitalia action happening today. We're gonna keep the theme up. Listen, it just won't be male genitalia we talk about today. I'll find some way to include the female genitalia too. But that was a scene that just happened to happen. Like it just happened to be there. I mean, Brevin Galloway, like his nut explodes. I'm watching Sami Zayn get a bowling ball rolled into his nuts. Like this isn't me doing this. It just what so happens to be at the time. Let's continue. I'm very upset with the Empire Trash Building. I am very upset. I mean, very upset with the Empire Trash Building.
Ew.
And also because recently the Empire Trash Building, or you guys may know it as Empire State Building, in celebration of the Eagles making it to the Super Bowl, they light up the Empire State Building. Hold on, you know what? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. What color was the Guitar Hotel on... What day was that? January 29th. Let's see something. The Guitar Light Show, Seminole Hard Rock. Let's see something. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking this up. And I'm gonna tell you why I was looking this up. And it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be hard to find. But the Empire State Building, in celebration of the Philadelphia Eagles making it to the NFC Championship, they lit up the Empire State Building green and white. Which, as you guys may or may not know, that the Empire State Building can be lit up multiple colors, different settings, different themes. And they lit it up green and white for the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, when I first saw that it was lit up green and white, I was like, oh, look at them referencing the Jets in a time where they don't matter and they're completely irrelevant. But that wasn't what they were doing. Excuse me. What they did was, like I said, they were celebration. I'm sorry. I'm doing something while we talking, and it's cracking me the fuck up because I'm gonna really enjoy this when it happens. Oh man. So I'm a little upset. So let me do my upset. It irks me, right? So I don't know if that's upset, but it irks me. And in that irkness is that, why are you representing any team that isn't Jets, Giants, Bills, Yankees, Mets, Rangers, Islanders? And I'll even give you a few of the New Jersey teams. You know what I mean? Like, I'll throw you in there if possible, a little bit. But not really. Not really feeling that either. But like the great Mills Lane said, I'll allow it. But this is a business thing, right? And not a personal thing. Anybody, for whatever reason, could put in a request to the Empire State Building and request that the Empire State Building be lit up a specific theme without any kind of monetary value required, or any kind of monetary payment required. You just write whatever you need to write to them, give them your reason, and if your reason is the best reason for that day, they light you up. Obviously, whatever reason comes in on the day that the NFL requested, the NFL is going to win that request. But for instance, I get all that, right? I just want to give you some guys some backstory. And while I get all that, if I'm the board runner or the electrician that's running or the approving body that's doing it, I'm like, hey yo, y'all really want to light up this sky for Philly? Now, while part of me may have said, yeah, let's do it, it's green and white, maybe nobody could tell. What I wouldn't do is post about it on social media. So maybe the dude that decided to do it had that thought, but the dude that decided to do it is a different person from their social media representative. Social media representative sees it, knows why they did it. Hey, yo, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for blah, 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 blah. Like, yo, my mans, relax. I know that's what we did it, but we just trying to announce it. You trying to get a shot? Sorry. Are you trying to get us highly scrutinized by the New York public and possibly tarred and feathered. You know what? That's gonna be my new. I'm gonna start saying that again. Tarred and feathered. Maybe that's a whole lot less. But also, I understand when I say tarred and feathered. I do mean. I probably do mean a way more violent act. I just don't want that violent act to be portrayed on the podcast, so that I could be shut down for any particular reason. So we gonna say he could be tarred and feathered. But did anybody like think like, yo, we could be tarred and feathered for this? Like let's not. If we do it, let's not announce it to the world we're doing it for Philly. Let's just kind of do it and let people guess. Because if I would have saw the Empire State Building in green and white, I would have thought Jets automatically. I would have thought like, yo, you did this for Philly. Because why are you doing anything for the city of Philly? You think the Jets or the Giants make it to the Super Bowl? All of a sudden, the Liberty Bell is being painted blue or green? You think all of a sudden you got somebody over there, bung, bung, hell yeah, the football giants of New York has made it to the Super Bowl, hell yeah, ding, 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 ding. Think that's happening? No. They're over there cussing you out. Everybody in the city, these motherfuckers made it to the goddamn Super Bowl. I can't believe this shit. Yo, that could have been us, B. Like, we were better than them. Yo, I can't believe that. You understand? Nothing's coming but shade. And I'm not trying to be the bigger city. I'm not trying to be the bigger man. I'm not trying to be the bigger anything but the bigger team. And the bigger team is the one that makes it to the Super Bowl, and that wasn't us. So why are you representing that? I feel some types of way about that. Now. About 5 minutes ago, you saw me doing something, right? And it made me wonder. Actually, I do live down here in South Florida. It made me wonder if something similar may have happened down here in Miami. It makes me wonder now, what does it take to get the Guitar Hotel or the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel, as we know it down here, the Hard Rock Hotel, right? The Guitar Hotel, whatever you want to call it, but the Hard Rock Hotel to do a color theme for you. It made me start wondering that, and it made me wonder if while New York was doing it for the NFC, I wonder if Miami was doing it for the AFC. You know what I mean? I know things like that started crossing my mind in this very moment as we started talking about it. But we'll never know. Listen, it's not really so much the fact that they did it. It's the fact that they posted about it. Nobody had to know that. You didn't have to tell that to the world. You didn't have to announce it to everybody. If you did do it, and honestly, don't let that stuff kind of pass again. Strictly New York and New York only. Don't let other now. I will take this back for one other thing. International events, obviously, we don't care about, right? If you want to light it up because Argentina won the World Series, do it. You want to light it up because Manchester United won the Bundesliga or whatever it is, then do it. You want to light it up because United States won in Summer Olympics. I get the more international sports stages, right? The sports outside of the country. But once you're getting into personal sports where New York has a team and there's other cities that have teams as well, and we're rivals with them or we're competing against them, nah, B, they don't get shine here. I'm seeing this church in Jersey, but see, that shows you the cornballs in Jersey. Right? New York, you're not a city of cornballs. Like the cornballs in Jersey, you see some wackadoodle pale church over there singing "Fly Eagles Fly" during their sermon. Sorry, wackadoodle unseasoned church, not pale, unseasoned. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, I'm not for it. I'm not. Oh, look at this. What am I seeing here with an old Kevin Garnett and an old Bill Russell? Why am I seeing this? A young Kevin Garnett, I should say, in Boston, was talking to Bill Russell in the hallway. Man, the level of respect, the level of greatness right there. Look at them two dudes sit down. Okay, let's get back into the sports. Well, let's get into our first topic of the day. Let's get into our official first topic of the day. Bring that up for me.
First of all, things first.
The king goes off, and the word of this segment I want you guys to remember is reputation. So the king goes off over the weekend. Now, I know you guys, I've been talking about this now for probably what is now the third week straight. NBA rivalry week, of course. We talked about it the week before, the week during, and the week after. Right? Because now we got some results. We got a couple of results, and we got the final results from the NBA rivalry week. Right? As the last of the games were played on Saturday. Right? You had Boston taking on the LA Lakers. You had the Knicks taking on Brooklyn. And you also had... Was this Philly and Denver? Was that Philly and Denver? I think Philly and Denver is probably the only one I didn't prepare to talk about today. Yep, Philly and Denver. I'll give you a quick rundown on that one. You know what? Nah, I'll wait. Because, you know what? I just realized that this is a direct correlation into why Philly is... We'll talk about that later. But for right now, let's do a little 305 to my city.
Here it comes.
Whoa. No, what did I just say?
First of all, things first.
First topic of the day. My bad. I'm tripping. And I'm big time tripping. I just undid something that I did earlier. Like I had something set up for myself. I had my next 4 bowls already separated, and I just unseparated them for some odd reason. I don't know why I did that, but hey, skipped in my loop. Alrighty. So the king goes off recently. And if you guys didn't know, like, we had NBA rivalry week, so the Boston Celtics took on the LA Lakers in the very last game of NBA rivalry week. Right? Lakers, Boston, the king versus a young prince in the game trying to come up and earn his footing in a Jason Tatum, led by his you know what I mean, followed by his brethren and his brothers, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and the rest of the Boston and the rest of the Boston Celtics and the racist Boston community. Right? That game will end 121 to 125. LeBron James would lead all scorers with 41 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. You know what follows after that. Almost putting up a triple-double. But you know the most important stat that we generally talk about here, right, is
you play to win the game. Hello?
That's what we talked about. And the most important stat did not go to LeBron James. The most important stat that we like to follow, we keep track of, which is wins and losses, went to the Boston Celtics. Yeah, the Boston Celtics won that game 121-125 in overtime. Jason Tatum put up 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists to lead his Boston Celtics to that 4-point victory. Now, the biggest story of that game is really more so about LeBron James' temper tantrum. Which, listen, there are calls, there are no calls, there are makeup calls done all the time. Did LeBron James get fouled? Possibly. Actually, hold on. One second. I think somebody's bringing a camera over here for me to review. And as I'm seeing this, actually, yeah, it looks like he got whacked on the arm. But you upstaged me. Technical to the rat. How you do that? Do that. The biggest story of the evening of that game. It's not the fact that the Boston Celtics won that game 125-121 in overtime against the LA Lakers. In a game where the LA Lakers were really trying. Like, they made sure they had all of their big dogs on the court healthy and ready. 1 for 7 for Russell Westbrook at one point in time. But at that point in time, I think he had like 7 assists in the game. Like I said, as I told you already, LeBron James put up his 41 points and 9 rebounds. Now, were there some missed calls? Yeah. But there are missed calls every game. Every game. If you want to, you could come here and you could sit down and you can dissect every call that the referees missed that could have possibly been points. So, did the refs miss a call at the end of the game where LeBron James got fouled? Yes. But the referees also missed a call in the second quarter where Jason Tatum was trying to make a 3-pointer, and they didn't call that. And they didn't call that foul. And then there was another time where Jaylen Brown was driving to the lane, and they didn't call that foul. And there was another time where Marcus Smart got fouled. And there was another time where Hoochie Mama got fouled. There was a lot of foul calls not made because you can't see everything. But also, the Lakers have been overreacting all game. Remember when I said the key word to remember here is reputation? Well, in all honesty, what has been LeBron James' biggest reputation as a player? He's a flopper. He over-exaggerates contact. So, when driving to the lane, if the referees were in turn just doing a makeup call, or just doing a no call, because it's the last play of the game, is it very possible that the fact that... Oh, who is this? Hey now. Actually, speaking of hey now. Let's text the bull and see how she doing. I don't know why I always remember when I'm on the air. Okay, let's continue. I'm over here looking at things and not talking out loud. So, is it possible their reputation put them in a situation where they just didn't earn that call? Well, like I said, the refs just don't want to make that call at the end of the game. There was a... When did the unwritten rule in sports that said, don't leave it into the hands of the ref, stop being a thing? When did that unwritten rule stop being a thing? I want to know. Because that philosophy is the reason why you see the Lakers overreacting the way that they did at the end of the game. Also, if you've watched, like I said, they're acting like this the whole game. LeBron James is overreacting. Dennis Schroeder's laying on the ground. Russell Westbrook is overreacting. Rat Beverly is grabbing the cameraman's pictures. Like, you understand? Like, the level of theatrical antics that the Lakers put on every day, led by their king LeBron James. And you want the referees to be able to decipher this. You want the referees to decipher this on the spot and also in the closing moments of the game. Yeah. You can miss me with all of that fake outrage. All of that. All of the. Let's leave it at all of that fake outrage. All of the outrage that's going on now, right? Because, and I'm going to tell you why. Forget the reputation. Forget all that, right? How just about last week or so, 2 weeks ago, remember the same thing happened to the New York Knicks? I think they played Indiana. And RJ Barrett was driving to the lane. He makes the dunk to tie the game. But he definitely gets fouled in the same instance. Right? The referees don't make the call. Game goes into overtime. Knicks lose. You know what that narrative was that day? Or the following day? It wasn't, oh, the refs missed a big call. Right? Oh. Right? It wasn't. I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. Right? I'm gonna backtrack for you guys in a second. Sorry. Last week, right? Let me do this properly. My bad.
If the good means rewind, the concept means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
Because I don't know if you guys heard me last time. What's going on, Jess? Ooh, how you doing? Just last week, the same exact thing happened to RJ Barrett for the New York Knicks. They did it. The narrative wasn't, oh, the refs messed up. The refs missed the call. Oh, how can they miss this blatant call? RJ Barrett drove to the lane. RJ Barrett got fouled. It should have been an and one. You know what the narrative was for the Knicks? You were up in that game. You shouldn't have put yourself in that position. You should have closed it out in regulation. The Lakers were up by 9 in the third and blew that lead. They were up by 3 in the fourth in the closing moments and blew that. Let me tell you the other thing they said. Well, you also went into overtime and had a chance to win it in overtime. You should have handled your business then. You see how they... But no. Like, focus here. Focus on me for a little bit, right? My knickers, right? You see how the narrative is different? For LeBron James, it's the refs. The refs should have made that call. I can't believe this didn't happen. It went into overtime. They were cheated. It shouldn't even have went there. But it's the New York Knicks, and they don't have a LeBron James. They don't have an Anthony Davis. They don't have a Dwight Howard. And I know he's not there now, but follow me. They don't have a Carmelo Anthony. They don't have a Russell Westbrook. For the last 3 years, the New York Knicks have been better than the Lakers. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Since Tom Thibodeau has taken over the Knicks, they have been better than the Lakers. Yet, when these same scenarios happen to the Knicks, it's, oh, here goes the same old Knicks again. Not knowing how to close out games. The Lakers right now are sitting 4 games below 500. The Knicks are 3 games above 500. My baby's not feeling well. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Hate to see it. I wasn't feeling good earlier today either. Right, I was suffering from some migraines, and I had to get that settled up. Like listen, I had to really get that settled before we got to this point because I was what do they call it? I was photosensitive today. Like I couldn't deal with none of these lights. All of the lights. All of the lights. No, let's do this. Let's rock this one. We don't ever rock this one. Do 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 wee 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 wee. Oh, wee 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 wee. Oh man, I'm sorry. That movie Kung Pao has messed me up for life. I don't know if you guys ever seen Kung Pao. But there's certain things that I can't see right or here without like that skit from like little things from Kung Pao popping in there. That Lil Wayne song, Mrs. Officer, like that is one of them, and then that other one, do 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 do. Oh man, go watch Kung Pao. You guys will know what I'm talking about. You've never seen it. Go watch Kung Pao, and then trust me, that song will never be the same, and also Mrs. Officer will never be the same to you ever again. Let's continue. Oh, this game just finished. I didn't even get to see who won this game. Sacramento ended up winning this game in overtime, 118-111. Alrighty, let's continue. Let's go to another game. Let's find some. Oh, wrong remote. Wait. Okay, let's put this remote back over here. Alright, let's get you over here. This is what happens when you have, listen. This is what happens when you have like 3 Fire Stick remotes that, you know what I mean, in the same room. Like seriously. And you always have to figure out, okay, like this is that TV over there, right? That's the small TV that we watch that shit on. And then this is the big TV. And then this is our side joint. You know what I mean? You can't have one, you gotta have 3. So go ahead and leave, baby. Go ahead and walk out the door. That's another song you guys gotta go listen to. Yo, I've been on my shit lately. You guys know this, man. So let's get back into it. Right? Because I think I'm done ranted for the. Oh, it's on a commercial. No one will let me do it. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? So Knicks fans, right? As I'm talking to Knicks and Lakers fans at the same time. This is the stuff that fezz me up. Like this is the stuff that gets me riled up. Is that the same exact scenario happens to the Lakers, and there's no accountability for the Lakers. It's everything. It's about the refs. It's about the no calls. It's about the NBA and their problem. It's about back-to-backs. It's about 82 games. It's about everything else about LeBron James not coming through. It happens to the Knicks. Nah, it's not the refs. Don't let refs determine the game. Oh, you went into overtime, should have took your business to overtime. Oh, you were up in that game, you shouldn't have lost the lead. It's like I'm not hearing that about LeBron James. Oh, Lakers, that has LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Hoochie Mama, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, all on the same squad. Y'all were up. How come you shouldn't have lost the lead? Why leave it into the hands of the ref? Lakers, Lake Show, LeBron James supposed to be the GOAT. Went into overtime. There goes your time to shine. Take over. Win the game for your team. You telling me between none of the three of y'all couldn't do it? The great Russell Westbrook, who just moved into 10th tonight in the all-time assist record, or assist category. Yes, Russell Westbrook tonight against Brooklyn moved into 10th place in the all-time assist record. LeBron James, who in 2 more games is going to be the all-time scoring leader, maybe 3 games at most, is going to be the all-time scoring leader. Anthony Davis, the guy that's supposed to be the next Tim Duncan. You mean between the 3 of y'all couldn't hold a 9-point lead? Between the 3 of y'all can't hold a 3-point lead in under 90 seconds? Between the 3 of y'all can't win in overtime? But yet, when it's the Knicks, it's the Knicks should be able to pull this out in overtime. Oh, Knicks shouldn't be losing their lead. You show me where the Knicks even got a Russell Westbrook. You show me where the Knicks got a Anthony Davis. You show me where the Knicks got a LeBron James. Yet how is it the Knicks are held to a higher standard than the Lakers? How is it the Lakers keep getting excuses made for them, and they're supposed to be the team that knows how to win championships? Yet the team with that has 10, 11 players on their team under 25 years old that's only been to the playoffs once, half of them, is expected to do better than LeBron James in the same scenarios. Yes, the New York Knicks have a better record than the Lakers for the last 3 years. But that's because the Lakers are failing. But yet you take it from the Knicks angle, the Knicks have been the ones failing. Maybe they're both failing. But, yeah. Y'all letting LeBron James get away with way too much. If y'all gonna hold him and keep thinking that he's the same LeBron James from 10 years ago, then you gotta hold him to the same standards. Y'all have to realize that LeBron James is in his end part of his career. He's in those late Kobe careers. Remember those late Kobe careers when they weren't making the playoffs? And he was wondering how come they couldn't get the job done? What was going on? That's what we're seeing. Well, you guys don't want to recognize it or are unwilling to recognize it. Listen, I remember going through the same denial with Jordan, but I learned. I didn't go through the game with Kobe, and I'm sure as fuck I ain't gonna go through. I'm sure I ain't go through with LeBron James. I've seen the decline of Dr. J. I've seen the decline of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those guys still putting out buckets, but not affecting winning. Their names are marquee, but their games aren't anymore. At least in the number one stat that matters.
You play to win the game. Hello?
So in LeBron James's flopping reputation, what standard are we holding him to? Are we suddenly now giving him the pass and passing everything along to referees and no calls and everything else like that? Because if you want to call every no call that wasn't made in that game, I'm pretty sure Boston comes out on the winning end of it. When are we holding C-level players to bigger standards than the A-level player? Because that's what the New York Knicks have, a bunch of C-level players. Maybe 1 B-. Maybe 2 B- in Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who for the 5th time in the last 8 weeks has been nominated Player of the Week. Nominated. Hasn't won, nominated. This game was tied at the end of the third, 81-81. Tied again at the end of the fourth. I mean, it was a close game. This is what I mean when I try to tell people. LeBron James is still doing great things at his age. And not at his age. For how long he's been in the league. Right? And at his age as well. But you guys have to understand that the greatest of great players, they can still do this at high levels. The scoring. Right? Some of the things that make us want like, damn, look at him, hey, look at this and that. But there's other little things that they still aren't affected anymore. And that is winning. It always has been winning and always will be winning. Some people fall out of that prime of effectiveness a lot early. We see how long Dwight Howard's effectiveness to winning was. We seen how long Carmelo Anthony's was. We seen how long Derrick Rose's was. We seen how long Paul George's was. How long Kawhi Leonard's was. So, and then we still see them afterwards, and then we kind of went like, damn, we still expecting them to try to win these games. We realize, you know what? They're not winning these games. They're no longer affecting winning. They still can put up the numbers. They can still do things that are great feats of athleticism, but not affecting the number one thing that matters. That's where we're at right now. But yet, excuse me. We make excuses for it instead. Now, I have to really be happy, me personally, as a Knicks fan. Because, believe it or not, Knicks fans, we have been saved. As the Lakers fall to 23 and 28 now. I think they just lost. Did they lose tonight? Yeah, they just lost tonight against Brooklyn. But when they lost last time, it was 23-27. So they're now 5 games under 500. Knicks still have a better record than them. Just letting you know. But the Knicks were saved. The Knicks were actually saved by having somebody else come into their home and put on some kind of record-breaking performance. And that only happened because superstars today are completely softer than a Twinkie filling. And we have to thank them for that. As a Knicks fan, because you know what that means? It means that LeBron James, who has been on this incredible pace of scoring for the last 10 games or so, is decided to take off tonight against Brooklyn. Which means that there's no way possible he can break the all-time scoring record in the Garden against the Knicks unless he drops 100 points. Like, seriously. Unless he drops 100 points, there's no way that's happening. It's like 90-something, I think. So by him sitting down and not putting up another 40 in Brooklyn, another 40, 50 points in Brooklyn, and then coming into New York and having to do the same thing again, he pulls himself out of that candidate. So now you get to see LeBron James in the Garden. That is televised. And I don't remember that game was televised before. It looked like he was on pace to break the all-time scoring record there. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I wasn't paying attention. But I don't fully remember that one being televised. But, my memory's shit. Ooh, I get to find my game. Let's see what the next game we can find. What time is it? It's about 11 o'clock. We're coming down to the wire here. There's not going to be too many more games left on here. God damn. Still watching wrestling. I'm watching somebody get a massive beatdown with a shillelagh. Now, the New York Knicks were also involved in rivalry week. Excuse me. That evening. Okay, what we have left here is Toronto and Phoenix. And Atlanta. I think we're going to watch Atlanta and Portland. I think I'll... Actually, hold on. I may give this some time. They're at halftime. That's actually perfect. That's actually perfect. I'm going to switch over to Toronto and Phoenix because I got some scouting to do. And it's actually perfect time to let you know why we got some scouting to do. This game only got like 36 seconds left in it anyway. So we'll catch the end of that and then switch over to the other game that's in halftime, and then we'll finish off the evening with the Portland and Atlanta game. I guess we'll get to see the battle of Trash Young and also the OG. Is he an OG by now? Is he an OG by now? What's the G? Damian Lillard. Right? New York Knicks also involved in rivalry multiple times this week, but they also was involved in rivalry on Saturday as well, right? And they end up playing the Brooklyn Nets. That game ended up being concluded with a 122-115 ended. Highest scorer of the evening was Kyrie Irving, who put up a spectacular, and I do mean that, right? And spectacular is describing in the method in which he put up the points, meaning his gameplay and style of play, right? Excuse me. That's what I'm calling spectacular. 32 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Doing a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of, which means I've been impressed with Kyrie Irving over these last couple of weeks, right? Especially these last week or so, right? Without Kevin Durant. You're starting to see him, I don't know, he looks different. Looks a little more at peace, right? Looks a little bit more at peace. Actively doing some of the things to affect winning. He's looking at times like a better leader. At times. I've been a little bit impressed by him lately. Alright? Still has to do more, still has to be a little bit more consistent. In the beginning of Kevin Durant going down, they lost a bunch of games in a row, but very recently they found their groove, and it's been behind the improved game of Kyrie Irving. Now, on top of Kyrie Irving putting up a spectacular 32, right? I want to call him Speedy Claxton. You had Nick Claxton also drop 16 points. What is it? 10 rebounds? 11 rebounds? 12 rebounds. And 3 blocks. Alright, let's see. We're back at this game, 108-102. Tomorrow, I'm not going to have enough game film to scout like I want to. And I'll tell you guys who I was trying to scout and why I was trying to scout them as well. So we'll talk about this a little bit later. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. And a little bit later is coming up in moments. Right. I mentioned Nick Claxton, right, with his 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks, because Claxton generally is the person directly that Mitchell Robinson would be guarding, right? Or he'll be the person that is in the responsibility of Mitchell Robinson. And we miss Mitch. And you can see in these games, right, as a Knick, that, and granted, Jericho Sims is doing a hell of a job, right? He's been a hell of a fill-in. But there's still something different. There's still something missing, right? You can still see that there's defensive assignments that's not quite there. He has some of the early foul issues that Mitchell Robinson used to run into in his early part of his career. Right? There's nuance that comes with experience that he lacks. But he's doing a good job with a natural instinct. And Nick Claxton is kind of ate him up. Granted, Jericho is like 6'9", 6'10". He's undersized center. Which, not for nothing, Claxton is also like only 6'10" as well, right? So they're both undersized center, but Claxton has way more experience in doing this than he does, right? And I think that experience matters, and you saw it, right? He was able to, I don't want to say have his way with him, but take advantage of him in enough crucial moments. And it hurt. Like, not having Mitchell Robinson, you can see it's really hurting the Knicks. Like, it's rough without him. And the Knicks are playing well still. They're playing good defense. You see the hustle. Julius Randle again is having one of those well, he didn't have one of his 30-point games, but he's had a decent game. I think when he put up 19 points. All right, he put up 19 points. Jalen Brunson put up 26. RJ Barrett put up 24. So they all played well. And those are not all played well. All their plus minus was good, right? Julius Randle for his 19 points, his plus minus was 6. Jalen Brunson, excuse me. Jalen Brunson for his 26 points, his plus minus was 8. RJ Barrett is one of the only people in that starting lineup that really had a negative plus minus, and his direct matchup was Kyrie Irving. You understand? So, let's see, 14 seconds left. Who did I just see make that? That was Pascal Siakam. That was Barnes. Who am I? Okay, I know who I'm thinking of. I don't know why I can't envision him now anymore. Now that I've seen Pascal Siakam and Barnes. What the heck was that? Phoenix. Now, I told you that Kyrie Irving had a spectacular performance, right? So it was just one of those moments that while the game was close for the majority of the game, right? Or all game, because this wasn't a blowout. It was 122-115. While the game was close all game, right? Going into the third game was close. The game was close all game. The major difference is having a Kyrie versus not having a Kyrie. As I said, Kyrie put on his spectacular 32 points. Kyrie Irving still remains to be one of the leading scorers in fourth quarter history. Definitely out of current players, right? Averaging the most points in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter is Kyrie Irving's time. It really is. Whether Kevin Durant's on this squad, whether Jalen Brunson and Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart is on this squad, whether LeBron James is on this squad. Excuse me. Fourth quarter is Kyrie Irving time. That's the time that he gets paid for. That's the time that he likes. That's the time that he shines. It's the time that he shows why he has more steps than Brittany, or Mike, or Chris Breezy, however you want to put it. That's all they missed. They missed the guy with a pop, which I guess brings up now their interest in one OG Oluwakambi. And I think I said his name. OG Anunoby. That's who they're looking after. And this game is done as well. So let's go to the last game that's on for the evening, which is Atlanta versus Portland. Last time we checked, that was in overtime. Let's see where they're at now. Not overtime. They're in halftime. My bad. Still in halftime. Well, that's perfect. They should be coming out of halftime pretty soon. We spent a decent amount of time over on those other shows, on another game. They miss a pop. Everyone that is, they miss a pop. They're really missing a guy with a pop, and I think that's why they're interested in a guy like OG Anunoby. Now, from what I hear, right, is that New York Knicks are willing to give up a couple of first-round picks for OG Anunoby. Now, I don't know if that means a first-round pick and Cam Reddish, or if that's Cam Reddish and a couple of first-round picks. I didn't hear Cam Reddish's name in there at all. Or just a couple of first-round picks. Because this is what I'm like, OG Anunoby. Huh. A couple of first-round picks? I can't give you like one first-round pick and maybe a second? For OG? Or, because also I don't want to give it a Cam, to be honest with you. I want, if the Knicks can keep accumulating a bunch of these 6'8", 6'9", Like, keep accumulating these little 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" versatile guys. Keep accumulating them. That's the NBA. That's what everybody does in 2K, right? Oh, and we are back in this game from halftime. Portland is currently up 64-60, and we are just now starting the second half. Right. So I don't know if that's really the move I'll be looking for. I have to look. That's what I said. I have to scout OG Anunoby. I have to look into his past stats. I'm gonna have to look into his last couple of years of injury history. I'm basically his medical history over the last couple of years. I'm gonna have to look into all of that to feel if OG Anunoby is worth 2 first rounds. Because then you have to figure out, why did he lose himself in the rotation in Toronto? And could that just simply have been because one, they had Pascal Siakam, and then the rise of Scotty Barnes? Is that making OG Anunoby expendable? Or even if he was expendable, why is he that expendable? Right? You can't use him to come off your bench. He doesn't help with your versatility, anything else like that. So I'm curious on. So before I even get excited about OG Anunoby, the only reason why only thing with OG Anunoby is that I recognize his name, right? What I don't recognize is his gameplay. Nothing about his game pops out to me in my head. So maybe I have to go back and do some research, possibly even go, because I'm pretty sure he was on that team with Kawhi Leonard that won a championship. So maybe I even think about going back and watching that championship series against Golden State, or maybe the one against Philly. Right? We don't have a lot of days left. We only have about 2 more days left into NBA free agency, or NBA trade deadline. Actually, 3 days left until NBA trade deadline. So I don't have a lot of time to watch all those games, and to do a little research and see what I need to find out about OG Anunoby. But just know that he is one of the names that is on the Knicks' radar to try to possibly bring in here before the end of the season. Now, it could be just worth bringing in somebody with a championship pedigree onto the team, just to help them with nuance. Who knows? Maybe the front office or Coach Tibbs thinks that they need somebody to help them understand the game a little bit better, help them with nuance. Like I said, this nuance, help them with the end portion of those games, help them with mentality, things like that. Because other than that, I am really, really curious about OG Anunoby's value. Now, you know what? While we think about that, all right, I'm going to let you guys ponder about something else. We'll be back in the MyT Sports Podcast in just a moment.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
And we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm still your host, the one and only Talon Toma Taylor. We are back. We are back. We are back. Who's that? Where you from, bro? Are you live? Oh, definitely live from Brooklyn. Well, we live in Florida. We recorded in Florida right now, but from Brooklyn originally. Knicks fan, big Knicks fan. Grew up in Brooklyn. That's where we from. BK Borough. How you doing? Shout outs all day. Yo, BK, stand up. All right, so let's get back into it. Right, I know what you guys want to talk about, right? Because obviously, rivalry week isn't the biggest story that's been happening so far in the NBA in the sports world. We also have the Super Bowl that is officially now set. We've had the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship finally conclude this past Sunday. We saw the Philadelphia Eagles face something that resembles the San Francisco 49ers. That's the best way I can put it. Can I tell you, the biggest disappointment of this game, was the fact that I was going to put in the bet for the alternative odds of +9, right? Of +9 points for Philly. That had a +230 odds, and I didn't put in my bet. That was it. That was the only thing I was upset about watching this game. Because I pretty much thought, as you can hear, that they were going to get beat by at least not. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I was definitely 100% confident on the alternative line of +6. I think +6 was giving away like 1 something, right? But that +9, like that's where I was with, because I really thought this was going to be a blowout. I really did think that this was going to be a blowout. I don't know why I had that feeling, and the number one feeling was just because, as much as Purdy has been doing his thing, I just wasn't feeling the neophyte being able to come through right there at the end. And what we ended up getting was a Philadelphia Eagles defense that was playing Rock'em Sock'em quarterback. Or Rack'em Sack'em quarterback. Oh my God. Every time you looked up, there was another quarterback with their head popped off getting put out the game. Now you have to remember, right? I think we forget sometimes that the fact that Brock Purdy is in this game for the San Francisco 49ers. Shit. I forgot to send out an invite. Maybe I invite them out next weekend. Alright. The reason why we had Brock Purdy is because Trey Lance is already out on the injured reserve list. Jimmy G is out injured again. Then he came into this game with Josh Purdy, their third string quarterback. And things was even looking good to begin with. Things never looked good for Josh to begin with. And then in the very first quarter, if I'm saying even was the first series? Nah, first quarter. First series, first quarter. In the first quarter. I can't remember what was broken out first year. In the first quarter, they catch him throwing, and I know you guys have had, if you guys have ever thrown a ball, thrown a football, thrown a baseball, you know when somebody catches your hand or whatever, hits your hand in that right spot, it just jerks out, be like, oh my God, yo, bro, what the fuck did you do? Right? You get that little jolt that goes through the body. Well, that's how they caught Purdy. But Purdy was trying to throw an 85-mile-per-hour football and was also being engaged by a 365-pound man coming at him at 18 miles an hour. Now, you guys do the math like you've learned in algebra and pre-calc, and you understand the kind of force that he was about to get hit with just on his arm. So Purdy sits down. Now we get Josh Johnson. Who? Is that Woody Johnson's nephew? Josh Johnson? He's finally in the game. And Josh Johnson looked like a deer in the headlights. It wasn't pretty for him either. Or, I'm sorry, it wasn't Purdy for him either. Because eventually Josh Johnson says, you know what, Purdy? You came into the league your rookie season. You won all your games up until this point. I look up to you, B, in a weird way. I want to be just like you. Even up to the point where he gets injured in the NFC Championship game, just like. No, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said that Josh Johnson may have caught a concussion. If I'm not mistaken, that is. So now you have nobody. Their emergency quarterback, which we'll talk about emergency quarterbacks. I'm gonna get a little bit on that. Is Christian McCaffrey. So now you see Christian McCaffrey. He's over here, and he's trying to get the head. He's trying to get the helmet with the headset in it, so now he can receive the plays. And now everything is basically wildcat. No longer have to worry about the deep ball. Don't even know if Christian McCaffrey can throw a decent deep ball. But I know it doesn't happen often enough for it to matter. But you see now why? Remember there used to be a reserve quarterback that didn't make the roster or didn't affect the salary cap, right? That they had this for. Like, imagine saying, you know what? You ain't in the league no more. Let me sit you down for a little bit. Vinny Testaverde coming as our emergency quarterback. Or imagine somebody's alternative emergency quarterback is Tom Brady, right? At 50. But still, you used to be a guy for this. So you didn't have to have your running back or a wide receiver or your kicker or somebody just come in randomly. You know what this needs to be? This needs to start being a defensive player. Like, seriously. There needs to be somebody on special teams. Or you know what? Kickers need to start learning how to throw footballs. You need to start fighting all of these guys that were quarterbacks to begin with and making sure they get some quarterback drills in them. And making sure that they learn the very basic vanilla package that is taught in preseason. At least that and a 2-minute drill. Because this is rough to watch. This was one-sided. It was a complete blowout. And it was very much so how I even thought it may go, even if Purdy was painting the picture. But now it's going to be interesting. You see now why San Francisco's probably just going to get rid of Jimmy G. Right? You see why now Jimmy G just became fully expendable. You have 3 guys on a rookie contract that can give you the production that Jimmy G, well, at least 2 of them, that can do for you what Jimmy G has, and you're about to develop the third in Joshua Johnson. Right? Just so you can make sure that you have depth all the way out to 3 now again. You're going to have all 3 of those guys back hopefully by next year. And you get to start the season out with 3 quarterbacks that hopefully that you can come all the way back to this point and get beyond. Again. Trailblazers currently up 82-75. 6 minutes left to go in the third, I'm assuming. Hasn't been that long. Yep, third. Let's see. Leon to leave. Oh, Leon. I'm retarded. And when is everybody gonna learn? Leave Rocky alone. Messing with the Rocky statue has not been beneficial to teams. It has not been beneficial to your health. It's not been beneficial to you winning. Stop it, please. We see it every single. We're seeing it now. Rocky Rocky hasn't lost now since. Is it Rocky 4? Rocky 5? When was the last time he lost? I can't remember. You know what's crazy? And I'm kind of mad at myself about this. It's just I grew up loving the Rocky movies and seeing them. And I think I've seen every one. I have not gone out of my way to pay the same respect to Creeds. So I'm going to have to go out and start watching all these Creeds. I'm going to have to go out and start watching all of these Creeds. My man Michael B. Jordan be doing this thing. Hey, auntie. Jalen Hurts didn't even have to have a spectacular game. And honestly, he wasn't having a spectacular game. Right? But he didn't even have to have one of those spectacular performances because his defense took out the biggest threat of the other side. You know what I mean? Every time. And that was the quarterback. No, they literally cut the head off the snake. And then went on to make themselves a nice little belt and then whoop their ass with it. Leave Rocky alone. Cincinnati had plans of doing the same thing. Unfortunately for Cincinnati, it would not work out in their favor. Alright. Cincinnati would end up losing to Kansas City 20-23 in a game that was almost everything that you wanted it to be. Almost everything that you wanted it to be. Right? KC is up early. It's 13-7. Shoot, I'm watching, again, WWE is doing their WWE, god damn, I'm sorry. I'm watching the last Monday Night Raw of the year. So the last, and they're doing their best moments of the year show. And they're going back through when Cody Rhodes fought Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell after tearing his whole entire bicep. Seriously. Or whatever. I don't know if it was bicep. Whatever. This pectoral. Bicep. Whatever. Tore one of those. And when you watch this match, you can see, like, this isn't fake. You see the humongous bruise that he has. And every time he performs a move, you see the pause that he has, right? Or the grimace that he has on his face. From the pectoral tear. Damn, we just feel for it. Like, jeez, I remember, you bring me back. I remember seeing it. You keep getting those little queasy shakes up and down your body. And of course, my phone will die as soon as I sent somebody a text message, and they sent me back a message to respond about how they were doing. Yeah, if you don't see IG up, then the phone is dead. So there's no behind the scene camera for IG today. So yeah, Kansas City gets up early, right? And they're up 13-6 at the half. Right? Cincinnati is looking... It's looking a little off. I think it was the bicep, actually. I think it was the bicep. I keep saying this card because the bruise goes from here all the way to here. But I think it was the bicep, if I remember them saying it correctly, that he tore. I think it was the bicep. But back to the Cincinnati Kansas City game. How much time we got left? Plenty of time. Kansas City goes up early, right? They get up 13-7. 13-6. You see Patrick Mahomes as well on his hobbled leg. Like I said, Cincinnati was trying to to Patrick Mahomes what Philadelphia did to all of the San Francisco quarterbacks, not named Christian McCaffrey. But you'll see Patrick Mahomes put on one of those gutso performances, right? After him doing everything to throw the ball. We've all had we've all had ankle injuries, right? Where you pull enough of yourself together to get you through like a possible play or a possible set of movements, and as soon as it's complete and you go back to normal, you're like, ooh, and that's what Patrick Mahomes do. You'll see him fall back, roll out, throw it, come back to the huddle, need the first down, rush for it, and get there, then get up, ooh. Definitely one of those gutso performances. Like he definitely gets a hit. Right, he definitely gets a big up for that performance. Like, you can't ask for much more out of your starting MVP championship quarterback, right? But Smoking Joe Burrow didn't go away without a fight. No, he decided to get up and light their ass right back up. And Cincinnati in that second half outscored the Kansas City Chiefs. What was that? 14 to 14? Yeah, 14 to 7. Now, unfortunately, Cincinnati will not come up with the W. And I'm not going to lie to you, right? Even I was watching this game. And as I'm watching this game, I'm thinking to myself, right? Myself. Just one of myself. Right? But I'm thinking to myself, are they just trying to give Kansas City this game? It really looked like that at some point in time. It 100% looked as if they were trying to give Kansas City this game. All of a sudden, their plays dead after the next play started. Excuse me. Even after that happened, there was a penalty that happened. But that penalty, it's like they called that penalty. And when the referee came to explain it, I swear to you, he had a smirk on his face for like half a second. He's like, oh wait, gotta be professional. Holding. Eli Apple. First down. And then that first down would cause Patrick Mahomes again to run. And then when he would run this time, after he's out of bounds, he would get pushed in the back. But you know what happens. I think it was number 58 or something like that. Right? But he'll get pushed in the back. Instant karma would happen. Dude that pushed him in the back ends up hyperextending his knee. He's down. Patrick Mahomes is down. They throw a penalty flag. Another first down. And there goes your game. Field goal range. Kick a field goal. Bam. That's it. And that's your game. That's all of your game. And now they've only outscored them 14 to 10. And that 10 matters. Or that extra 3 matters. But they had outscored them 14 to 7 up until then. They were on a roll. They were rolling. They started getting to Patrick Mahomes. No, granted, Kansas City's defense also. Like, they started getting to Joe Burrow as well. Joe Burrow didn't have a fantastic game. 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Not a fantastic game. I think he had like 200-something yards. Patrick Mahomes put out like 270 versus Patrick Mahomes 326. Patrick Mahomes 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. This game was almost I guess it was everything that what you would want, because it had the early start, it had the comeback, it had the marquee player pushing through injury, it had controversial calls, it had superstar referees again. It's been a pattern, huh? Superstar referees in the AFC Championship game. Superstars referees in the game of Lakers versus Brooklyn. Lakers versus Boston. Starting to get interesting. So now what we have set is Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Right, we have the Andy Reid Bowl. Right, we have Andy Reid's former NFC team versus now his current AFC team. Also, you have the Kelsey Bowl, where both teams has a Kelsey brother on it as well. So some pretty neat stuff going on. Some pretty interesting things going on. So as you guys know, what happens now is that we don't have a Super Bowl. And also, big up to what's his name? Scarlos Varlin Scanton? Juan Carlos Stanton. Oh my god. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. The wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs that stepped up to put him like 116 yards. Scanton Valdez Jr., Oscar Cesar Chavez, something like that, right? But big up to him for coming through in that game. As while Philadelphia or San Francisco was losing their quarterbacks, Kansas City was losing their wide receivers, and Apollo Creed Jr. Like, he definitely came through and showed up big time and put himself on the map for that game. And that's what you got. Like, listen, and somebody has to step up. You just got to make sure that you answer the door when your bell is rung, and that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. So now we don't have another game. Oh, I should say we don't have another. The Super Bowl now comes out in 2 weeks, right? So now the Super Bowl is set for February 12th, right? Right at 6:30. So hopefully I can get my ass out of the house and be where I need to be by noon. And still enjoying a full day of drinking and festivities. Now, in between there, we're going to have a couple of things that's going to happen, right? Between then and now. First thing that's going to happen, we're going to have the Pro Bowl that's going to happen on the 5th. Yeah, on the 5th at 3 p.m. That's going to be next Sunday. Right, on the Sunday coming up. We're going to have the Pro Bowl. Obviously, the Pro Bowl is comprised of everybody that's not in the Super Bowl. So, obviously, we're not going to see any Kansas City Chiefs player and any Philadelphia Eagles players, even though they'll still get credited for the All-Star nominee or the Pro Bowl nominee, right? The Pro Bowl this year, they're going to now 7-on-7 flag football kind of tournament, just to make things, I guess, a little bit more interesting, because obviously they got tired of really the almost no tackling and the light tackling and the level of non-play that was going on in the Pro Bowl now these days. So now they're gonna, like, you know, people are saying long enough, hey, you might as well be playing. You see, now you've gotten exactly what you asked for. You've been out here talking about, now, you might as well go back. You might as well go to playing flag football. If you're gonna be playing like this in the Pro Bowl, you might as well play flag football. 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 You know, you might as well play flag football. You know, like that's all you guys have been saying. Hey, you had to do flag football. Right? You might as well be playing flag football. Now you've gotten your wish. All you have is one wish, one wish, one wish. And now you've gotten it. Flag football. Fourth quarter is starting between Portland and Atlanta. 99-92. Portland still up. Now you have officially flag football. And the crazy thing about it, there's still going to be an injury. Because people are going to be cutting harder. They're going to be running harder. Right? Some of the twists and the turns and the jumps that they're going to start trying to do now, I can't say they're going to be trying to do all that in the Pro Bowl, knowing that there's real, people are going to be out there really trying to hit them. There's gonna you're gonna. I feel like you're gonna get a chance to see some incredible feats, especially since you can't tackle. Especially since you can't tackle. So you have the Pro Bowl coming up. Like I said, Pro Bowl and all the skill challenges actually coming up. Obviously coming up on the 12th, right? I mean on the 5th. Also in between then, you also have NFL honors coming up on February 9th, which is basically the NFL's award show. And they use their award show to go ahead and hand out all of their yearly awards. Most valuable player, most improved player, comeback player, best team, best moment, defensive player, rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. You know what I mean? Things like that. So this is the time for all of that. Right, everybody gets a chance to dress up. They go out, they show off their Sunday best. You know what I mean? They show off all their overpriced, all of their overpriced jewelry and watches. And for those saying like, "Hey, yo, you're just hated," no, I'm not. I follow the Ocho Cinco book of jewelry. So understand what I'm saying here. Right? It's like, yo, you gonna know me, yo, listen. Eventually, I'm trying to get to a point, and I've been and listen. Ever since I heard Ocho Cinco say it the first time, I've been like this. Like he just made too much sense to me because while everybody was playing with jewelry on the field, and I remember if they lost their diamond earrings, you'll see them the next time on the court or on the field looking for their diamond earring because now they just lost a 10,000 piece of jewelry while playing a sport. Ocho Cinco loses his earrings. He goes out and gets another one because he's getting his from Claire's, and he doesn't care. It just looks good. Who cares if it's real or not? You know his value. You know his name. You know his worth. Why I gotta waste my money to try to keep up with the Joneses to try to impress niggas that don't matter? Like seriously. But you understand? It's a toxic belief that we have in the community. That has to go out. That has to go out. Then let's remember some of the richest people that actually in the world, they dress like bums. But people in the entertainment and especially the hip hop community, you have to spend half of your money flossing just to try to prove that you've made it. Nah, pimpin'. That's not the move. He was like, seriously, I'm telling you, ever since I remember Ocho Cinco saying it the very first time, and then it was funny, I just watched he recently had a sit down with Shannon Sharp and kind of like re-emphasize some of that. But ever since I remember him saying that ever since that happened on the field with him losing that earring and not sweating it because he was like, I got this in the mall at Claire's. Like, like I'm sorry. Like what kind of fool would I look like? And this is what I realized he was also smart and a lot of people was giving him credit for. Right? It was just that he was putting on antics that people just didn't like. But he was also constantly selling himself. Which was making it, which was doing better for him than anything else because regardless if he won or lost games, he still won. And as long as he won just enough percentage of games, he still won. And as long as he did his thing on the field, he still won. Right? So I just really remember that about Ocho Cinco, and once I remember that, I was like, this makes so much sense. Like, why are you wasting all that money? It really doesn't help any. Like, why waste all of that money? He says, like I said, you just wasted $10,000. And like I said, and if you look at it too now, a lot of people that used to floss back in the day, they don't floss no more because they found out it was pointless. You have diminishing assets. think what Ultra said in the interview was, why would he buy something when it's not worth the value of his name? If the value of his name is worth than what he's trying to buy, then why is there a need to buy it just to flaunt it? If it's not something that's appreciated, like art or a house or land or something like that. So he never believed in the cars and the jewelry and stuff like that. Just heard him say he's kept about approximately, I think, 65 to 75% of the NFL salary still. Has that untouched. Saved. You don't hear that from a lot of people. And this is also a guy that was also living off of Big Macs during his NFL career too. That's the crazy thing. Is it about time for the switch over our feeds? Nah, we still got some time. What's going on ABC 7? I know you guys always spying on me. Let's continue to roll up and roll out. What do we have next on the agenda? Ooh, something that I really like to talk. Something that I really like to skip out the way because you've been fucking up all day. Something that I really like to talk about, right? And that's WNBA. That is the WNB. I didn't have that ready, did I? I already know I don't. Sure, I did. All right, that's the WNBA, and the WNBA's free agency is coming up soon, and something is happening that I'm so happy for. I'm so happy for. There is going to be live ESPN hour-long coverage about the WNBA free agency. I'm sorry. Yo, big up to my ladies, yo. Respect all day. Nigga. Right, because this is what you need, right? The WNBA free agency is just about 2 hours away. 2 days away. Right, a little less than 2 days away now, less than 48 hours away right now. Right, and right now, we've already heard about one of the biggest names that's possibly on the move, right? And it's probably already a sign that she's official. But there's one of a big name that's kind of lingering. So if you've been paying attention so far, Candace Parker has said that she's going to sign with the Las Vegas Aces. So now you had Candace Parker with AJ Wilson, right, and the rest of that Las Vegas squad, and we're probably talking about the Shaq and Kobe of the WNBA. This is going to be something to see. Las Vegas, as a basketball team, is kind of doing what the Lakers were doing as a basketball team. They were even the spark in the early beginnings, but you really seeing them going, like, getting names, getting some flashy players, like really going after that chip. Really, I really love what happens in Vegas. I'm telling you right now, if I wasn't one of those guys that are fully dedicated to their hometown, right, and I was comfortable jumping all over the place, I probably would have made the Las Vegas Aces my team already. I love what they've been doing there. Love what Mike Davis is doing, or Mark Davis, whatever the son's name is. Right? I love what he has been going on there. I love how he's taking care of the team. I love how they pour money into the team. I love how Kyrie Irving pours money into this team. So far, Kyrie Irving has put in over $55 million, probably almost $100 million already, just to make sure that salaries are kept up in the WNBA, to help players fly. You understand? Because players in the WNBA are still flying commercial flight. So they're trying to. So, like, you know what they're talking about? WNBA players are over. Listen, if you can't afford to fly as private, then you probably shouldn't afford a team. Stop being stingy at this point in time. Like, seriously. Stop having them cramped up in coach. Stop having them deal with the regular delays and the regular rigmaroles that. I'm gonna say that they're not regular people, but give them the same respect that we give the regular NBA players, right? The male NBA players. The same respect that we give the MNBA. I may start calling it the MNBA. Just to fuck with people. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Right, so like big up to Kyrie Irving for what he's done there as well, right? And let's hope that the women start getting private flights also added into their into their benefit package, right? Or their regular everyday package as a WNBA player, as well as more pay, period, right? Because while it's been decent that the pay has gone up, it probably needs to go up one more decent jump so that we can start saying, you know what? Our women no longer need to go overseas to play. So that what happened to Brittany Griner never happens again to another American WNBA player or to another American athlete, period. We need to go ahead and start getting their contracts up and start getting them a better portion of their collective bargaining agreement. Get that pool up. But also, you know what? NBA, I commend Kyrie Irving for stepping in and be like, you know what? We make more than enough here. I can spare 55 mil. Here. And I wish every player in the NBA was like, hey, I can spare at least 5 mil. Here you go. You know what 5 mil would do from every NBA player? And that's just saying about a minimum 5 million. I know some of them can't afford 5 million. I know there's a few that can't afford 5 million. All right? How about 20 million from every NBA team? 5 million from every NBA team. You know what? If we wanted to just put it that way. How about $1 million from every NBA? That's not enough. But for some of these guys, you can try to get 5 million out of a decent amount of them. To be like, hey, how about 10 million from every NBA team? Actually, no, I'm not even lying. How about 20 million from every NBA team? Like, you know what that would do for as a nice little boost egg? It's like, here, go make things happen. Let's get people paid. But also, this is the stuff that isn't talked about enough on enough of the major outlets when it comes to Kyrie. And this is the stuff that isn't talked about repetitively. Like, this isn't a thing that's barked about every day until it becomes a thing. Because, see, that's the thing about it. See, that's what you guys miss. It's not the fact that when Kyrie Irving is sharing something on social media, or when Kyrie Irving is not getting vaccinated, it's not the fact that he did it and they moves on, that he did it and something happens. That he did it, they keep on bringing it up until it becomes a thing. But when it comes to his good stuff, they mention it. And they go about their business, and it's barely ever talked about. It's an honorable mention. And they move right on. It's not giving any depth. It's not giving any weight. They don't ask the phone. They don't ask the callers to call in to talk about, hey, what do you think about Kyrie donating 55 mil to the WNBA? Because I want to know what you guys think about that. Like, you guys call up. You know, my phone lines stay open. My nose is really itchy. It's not what you guys think. Just itching right now. I'm tickling like a motherfucker. You know what though? Also, I think my headache may have gone away fully. Finally. Yeah, I've been dealing with a headache for almost a week now. I know when I was on the air Friday, I think I told you guys I still had that headache. I can't remember if I had the headache on Wednesday or not. I feel like I had it. I forgot like I had it last Tuesday. And it finally went away today. But now I have a different issue. My chest hurts now. Listen, man, it's just one of those times. It's one of those times. It's just one of those times. I'm sorry. So back to it. So we have like I said. So we have Candace Parker. She's going to Las Vegas Aces, right? And with her on the Aces, and that's it. The Aces were already one of the favorites to win a WNBA championship, right? In the upcoming year. So on top of that, they just greatly increased their odds that they're going to win a championship because we just saw what Candace Parker did for Chicago, and what she has been doing in the later part of her career. And it's crazy too because I don't know why I thought that her move to Chicago was going to be a retirement move. But now Candace is like, yo, I can help another young squad out. Like, we can do the damn thing. Let's get in here. Now, there is a name that I'm very interested in. I mentioned it in the intro. And that is one Breanna Stewart. Yeah, Bree. Breanna Stewart may be on the move from Seattle. Now, I remember similar news popping up a couple years ago. And I remember she went right back and signed with Seattle. And it was the New York Knicks, and it was New York Liberty again. Like, it was a New York Liberty in the news again. And that time I thought that they had just... And they were just using the New York market and the Liberty as leverage to, to negotiate. But now they're showing the Jake Paul and Roman Reigns match, which I am telling you, Jake Paul is a hell of a wrestler. because at this point he's also just a hell of an athlete by now, right? But he is a hell of a wrestler, and he sells it. And if he never boxes ever again in his life, he'll have a career in wrestling. And most likely, the way it's looking, whenever he's done boxing, he's gonna have a career in wrestling. They are teaching and grooming this kid. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now that I can very easily see if he wanted to come and wrestle and be a WWE star for a living, right? And start doing this all the time. Them making him a champion. I don't know what level, definitely like a United States or Intercontinental champion, right? I don't know about heavyweight champion. He'll win one at least. Not while Roman Reigns has both of them. No, that's not happening. Portland Trailblazers up 116-109 with just about 4 minutes left to go in the game. Oh, that's where he got the phone from. I never did see where he got the phone from. He got the phone from a fan. Or maybe, actually, no. That was not a fan. I just saw who that was. That's his boy. I think that's the dude that he does his podcast with. Impulsive. Yowzers. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, thank you, but I didn't need all that. So, dude, we have Breanna Stewart, and she's on the move, right? And like I said, they said that she may come to the Liberty. Now, for some odd reason, right, this time seems more believable, I guess is the word, than last time. like I said, that's really what it boils down to, right? Is that this time around, it seems more believable. Just seems a little bit more believable. Seems like it may actually be a thing that can happen. And if that happens, oh man, if that happens, you have to understand, Knicks fans. You have to understand Liberty fans. This may be the year. Like, if we have Breanna Stewart to go along with Jonquil Jones and then Sabrina Iniesta, and I keep forgetting the other little young guard that they have now as well too. You combine that. Also, if I'm not mistaken, is Kelsey Plum still on the team? Or she already left? No, I can't remember. I didn't look up their roster beforehand. Damn, I'm a little surprised. I always get surprised how much WNBA, at least a little bit of WNBA that I know. I'll be thinking I'll be watching enough sometimes. I really do. I really don't be thinking like I'll be watching enough WNBA. And honestly, I could still watch a whole lot more. Oh yeah, that's good. Like, there's always a little bit more I can watch. But you add Breanna Stewart to this Liberty team. Like I said, to go along with Jonquil Jones. To go along with Iniesta. And with the coach that we have, the defense. The 3-point making. And now you add the championship pedigree and the skill set of Breanna Stewart to go along also with the championship pedigree of Jonquil Jones. Like, you have those two guys or ladies. Oh man. It's going to be something to see. And I'm telling you guys right now, you may not know this, right? You may or you may not know this, but if you listen to the show, then you may be familiar with this. But the WNBA season, if you guys are unaware, is only, and I really do mean this, is only $24.99? Was it $16.99? Still, let's call it $24.99. I thought it was $16.99, but let's say it's $24.99. But it's only $24.99 for the whole entire year. That's what I paid last year, right? So here's to hoping the same thing happens again this year. But yeah, that's what we're talking about here. That's exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about $24.99 to get the whole entire season of the WNBA. Every single game, every single team, highlights, replays, live events. We're talking about watching it on your tablet, on your phone, and very now recently they just finally got it on the TV. Not the TV, but like on an Amazon Fire Stick and stuff like that. Because that was the thing before. They didn't have it for that. And I think that's when it was $16.99. I think that's when it was. I thought it was cheaper than that. Maybe that's when it was $16.99. And now with it being, and now with them on TV now, I think now it's $24.99. But like I said, we're talking about less than $25 for a whole entire season of sports. And if that can't convince you, like, to want to get into the WNBA, like, I don't know what does. Like, stop, like, seriously, like, that alone makes me just want to support them. Because it's easy to support, and I get to watch more basketball. And I love basketball. More than anything else, I love basketball. That's me. That's the MyT Sports Podcast. That's how I am. I love me some basketball. So you give me a way to watch basketball all the goddamn time, then at my leisure, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's a very easy way to do it. And also, as you can hear, I want to find a way to be able to give support to the WNBA, and the only way that I can feel that I can really give support is to subscribe to the WNBA and make sure that I'm part of the millions of subscribers that puts money into the collective bargaining pool. I do have to start buying some merch though. But it's not going to be for me. It's going to be for my niece. The thing that sucks, the thing that absolutely sucks, is that there's no team down here in Miami. Again, I'm gonna keep doing this, right? I'm gonna keep doing this, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna keep calling out guys like Dwayne Wade. I'm gonna keep calling out people like Pitbull. I'm gonna keep calling out people like Rick Ross, right? I'm gonna keep calling guys like that out that should have enough money to get a fucking WNBA team put together. Like, you want to buy into a sports league? You want to buy a sports team? Do that. Buy a WNBA team. Come put it in South Florida. So I could take my niece to games. And make her become a fan. Because you know what I'm going to end up having to do now? I'm going to end up buying her Sabrina Iniescu t-shirt. She's going to get New York Liberty swag from me. That's how I support them. I would like to get her, like, honestly, I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of leagues that can get me to switch over to a Florida team. Hockey, you're one of them, right? Florida Panthers, like, you can buy my fandom, right? Send me some merch, hook me up. I will be a fan. I'm not that much into hockey. I could be easily swooned. The soccer team down here, I can be easily swooned. Whatever the Palm Beach team is, right? They put a WNBA team here, I am there automatically. Automatically, I am there. Don't even have to worry about it. Okay, good. I almost messed up and started this game over. Okay, this Portland game is now 119 to 117. Portland is still up. You see Devontae Murray out here doing his thing, folks. Taking Damian Lillard to the lane. Over here pulling up, drawing some contact, light contact, and now making himself to the foul line. Oh yeah, definitely did get contact. And look at that. Damian Lillard didn't even complain. Didn't complain, didn't cry, didn't fuss, didn't fight, didn't even look at the referee sideways, like, just, yeah, I got him. Accountability. I don't think Lakers have accountability right now. That's probably why they can't win games. And that's the reason why for the third straight year, the New York Knicks are going to have a better record than the LA Lakers. Since Tom Thibodeau has taken over the Knicks, they've had a better record than the Lakers. Yeah. What? I thought we did this already. This is bullshit. My Hulu reset. I was gonna put on the next wrestling event. I guess we'll just keep on basketball for now. Be excited, Liberty fans. Be excited, and hope that we get Breanna Stewart. I guess they're coming down to the wire of breaking up what was going on in Seattle. I think. What was it? Damn it. Is it Deanna Taurasi who was playing for them? What was the other one I'm thinking about? Who was playing in Seattle? And I'm trying to think if she retired. And if that would be a reason why now Breanna Stewart would want to come to the Liberty. I'm going to have to research that. That just popped into my head. I'm wondering if she was playing. I'm trying to remember if Deanna Taurasi was on Seattle. That's what I can't remember. And if last year was her last year, I think she just retired last year. And if I'm not thinking about Deanna Taurasi, if I'm thinking about Sue Bird, and if that was her last year, so that's the scenario I'm thinking about. If she played with, I'm trying to remember which one she played with, and if they retired last year, because if that's the case, that means they may be breaking up, or Breanna Stewart says, she's like, you know what, this chapter with this individual is now over here in Seattle. Let me go ahead and move on, and let me see now if I can win somewhere else. And if that's her mind frame, yeah, boy. I'm telling you right now, you want this girl to be on the squad for reals, for real. This Liberty team has already been improving over the last couple of years since they've acquired Sabrina, right? Now we got a new coach last year that instilled a whole new set of fundamentals that helped the whole entire squad improve, as well as adding Jonquil Jones. Now you talk about second year with this coach, right? Another year with Jonquil Jones, and another year Sabrina Aniascu improving. I want to say there was Kelsey Plum, but I may be mistaken somebody else for her, who was on this team as well, as the other young guard. But you get her in another year here, and now you add Breanna. This is the recipe for a championship team. If not this year, then definitely by next year. But this happening this year is very possible. Expect a deep run by the Liberty. Expect some excitement. Expect a decent record. Be locked in. Get locked in and get locked in early. The Liberty is going to be on fire. And the Liberty won't be lit up all green and white trying to represent the fucking Philadelphia Eagles like the Empire Trash Building. Still can't believe they did that. While the WNBA free agency is just about 2 days away, you have the NBA free agency, NBA trade deadline that's popping up in 3 days, right? So there's not a lot of big names on the marquee that we know of. There's still one guy out there that I really we see a 3-pointer by Portland. Who hit that? I don't Simmons, okay. So Anthony Simmons just hit that, just hit a 3-pointer. The game was tied 121 all. You just put Portland up by 3, 124-121 with 34 seconds left in the game. Exactly 34 seconds left in the game. Of course, Atlanta took a timeout. I don't know if they inbound the ball first and took a timeout. But Atlanta is going to take a timeout right now. We got a little television timeout going on. We'll keep you guys updated. This is the last game of the evening. So, yeah, I think I am a little upset that I have to sign back in. Maybe I have it signed in here. And if that's the case, then when this is over, then I'll switch over to a wrestling event and start watching January's wrestling events, because I have to watch SummerSlam. Because I have to see. I've had a prediction, right, for 2 individuals' returns, right, and a definite winner. I've had a and I thought Charlotte Flair was going to wait to come back to the Royal Rumble, but she came back earlier than that. She came back before the end of the year, and became 14-time women's champion before the year ended. But I assume that Big E and also Cody Rhodes is gonna come back by the Royal Rumble. I said that about Cody Rhodes as soon as he got injured, and based off of the track that Cody Rhodes was going, I'm assuming they're gonna have him win the Royal Rumble. And if there's anybody that they're gonna have break the streak of Roman Reigns and separate those belts for a while, it's going to be Cody Rhodes. It's going to be Cody Rhodes. Now, I just wonder, when Roman Reigns loses, is it for the SmackDown belt? Is it for the Universal title? Or is it for both? That's what I'm curious about. Or when he loses, do they pull somewhere to like, oh no, dog, we weren't putting both titles up on it there. We only said the SmackDown champion. We only said the Universal Championship. So I'm still the SmackDown champion. And I'm coming for, I wonder how that's gonna go. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how that plays out. And I've been making sure I stay very far away from anything wrestling related, because I don't want to know any Royal Rumble stuff. And I was really hoping to catch up by by the time the Royal Rumble happened, but I lied to myself and I lied to all of you on the air, and I said I was going to watch all of this wrestling over the weekend, and then when the weekend started, I realized, oh my god, this is rivalry week, and I'm not going to watch any wrestling on Saturday, and also on Sunday end up being football. I was like, yeah, that's not happening too much either. Also, I worked on Sunday morning as well too. Sorry, I'm still trying to see if my head's still hurting. Worked on Sunday morning as well, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. No, what? The fuck you just said? Oh, no, I worked Sunday morning. I was talking about this game. Sorry, I realized I mixed my speech with my thought a while ago. Right, so I worked Sunday morning, so I didn't get a chance to squeeze in any wrestling before the game started, and the game started, and that was that. Right, it was a wrap. So I squeezed in some wrestling today, and from what just finished, I've officially finished everything from 2022. Now I was gonna catch up on January for SmackDown and Raw. So we're talking about another 8 episodes at an hour and a half apiece. So I'll probably be ready just about Wednesday to go ahead and I'll be talking to you guys about the Royal Rumble winners. And if Cody Rhodes makes an appearance, oh yeah, he's definitely winning. I'm telling you right now, he's winning. And if you want to ready, and I'm right, then go back to the old podcast. Go back to the very old podcast. You can look at my titles. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in one of the titles that I talked about. But when Cody Rhodes got injured, I was like, oh yeah, he is gonna, if he can make that timeline, he'll be back by Royal Rumble if the timeline was set that I was thinking about, and he's gonna come into the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble. So I'm looking for it. I'm looking to see how that plays out. Something I can't say WWE is predictable, but if your mind is creative enough to follow certain patterns, you'll stumble upon a gem or a pattern or two that you may notice, and then you'll make your predictions to kind of see if you're right. Like I'm telling you guys, I so forgot to put in my bet for the Philadelphia Eagles on the alternative line of +9 to win 230. Man, let me get +230. You know what I mean? Yeah, that one. I don't know why I had faith in that one. There's another one for +6 as well too. All right, and I was very much talking myself into taking the +6 and playing it safe. Right? I really was. I was really trying to talk myself into taking the +6 and playing it safe, but it all started from me wanting to take the +9, and then I saw that +6, and I was like, ooh, that is kind of safe. I mean, I was kind of certain about. I was feeling strong about +9, but I can damn near guarantee a +6. Like, you never know. Like, a field goal right at the end. You know what I mean? Maybe suddenly, like, I was like, I don't know. You know, a 10-point lead turns into now a 7-point lead. You know, I don't know. So, like I said, NBA trade deadline is popping up around the corner, right? So the trade deadline is just about 3 days away. We just turned over to midnight, so now it's just about 2 days away. And like I said, there's no big names out there. There really aren't any big names out there. I'm hoping that because you're not hearing about any significant names, right? That there are some, and I wouldn't call them big names, but what's the right word? Noticeable enough names that them leaving their current team matters big time to that team, and the team that they go to is going to be stealing something and getting something real I've mentioned this name before. I've been talking about this name for about 2 years. I will talk about him again in a second as I'll give you an example of what I mean. D'Angelo Russell, he's not one of them, but his name was out there. But and I know that he kind of wanted to trade and he kind of wanted to leave, but they have pretty much talked in the state the way he's been playing lately. They're saying like, nah, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep you. You're staying. Why would we trade you? So we'll see what's happening with them, but this Minnesota is set to be keeping D'Angelo Russell. You also have the name that I spoke to you about is ready with the Toronto Raptors. OG Oluwakambi with the Toronto Raptors. Now he is being coveted by the New York Knicks. We have John Collins as well for the Atlanta Hawks. I don't have who's covered in him as of yet, but he is on the trade block as well. You have Jay Crowder from the Phoenix Suns, right? He's being coveted right now by the Milwaukee Bucks as Phoenix has given him permission to talk to Milwaukee. You have Benny Highland, right, from Denver. He's in talks with Minnesota. So that's interesting that Minnesota's not willing to trade D'Angelo Russell, but Denver's in talk with Minnesota about possibly acquiring Benny Highland. So we'll see if D'Angelo Russell really isn't. Ooh, Damian Lillard gets the ball. Damian Lillard's being chased. Runs up the clock a little bit. Finally fouled with 3.1 seconds left. 125, 127. Devontae Murray finally catches him. We have Jalen McDaniels also in trade talks, and also Darian Finney-Smith also in trade talks. So you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no big names really being presented in there. So as in the trade rumor. So it makes me hope. Damian Lillard tonight, 41 points, 10 for 21 from the field goal range, 5 for 12 from threes, perfect 16 for 16 from the free throw line, 6 assists. Right now, I'm coming as a plus minus of 5, and let's make this perfect 17 to 17. He just did that, and he puts his team back up by 4 with 3.1 seconds left. Atlanta throws a Hail Mary. Devontae Murray shoots. He misses. The game is over. They just let them have that game. It's like, we're not even going to challenge you. We're not going to try to accidentally foul you. No, nothing. Devontae Murray put up 40 points today. Let's see. Bogdanovich, 23. Collins, 16. Griffin put up 13 and Hunter put up 10. Murray had 8 rebounds and 7 assists, that is. And I didn't get to see the rest of Portland's numbers. But Damian Lillard with 42.6 assists. Jeremy Grant, 22 points and 2 blocks. What else we have here? And NBA announced that TNT will air the 2023 NBA Draft as a new live pregame segment at the 2023 All-Star Game on Sunday, February 19th at 7:30. That's what I was telling you guys about. I think I was mentioning this guys on live on Wednesday. There's a little bit more information. So yeah, the All-Star Draft is going to be a pregame now. It's going to be part of the pregame show, pregame events. Yo, look at them coming back with the 80 shoulder style. I see you. Look at Candace out here doing her commentating and shit like she didn't just leave to go to Las Vegas. I also wonder if that was also to make things easier for her. I wonder where the NBA studio is at that she presents out of. I wonder if it's out of New York or if it's out of LA. And if it's out of LA, I could also see why going to Las Vegas would also be a better move for her as well. It keeps her closer to her media obligations. Those media obligations didn't stop. If I'm not mistaken, those media obligations didn't fully stop when she became a player. Unless she was just injured at that time. I don't remember her media obligations really stopped when she became a player. She also took those on as well. So I wonder how taxing those things are. And if part of that move, and if any part of that move had anything to do with that as well. I'm going to keep my ear out. And we're going to keep looking at this. So, one of the names that are constantly on my radar, as you see Rui Hachimura just recently go to the LA Lakers, is Bradley Beal. We know players these days, they basically have learned to opt in to your contract with your current team, take their money, and then ask for your trade. Instead of getting the 30 million less on the market, they force you to opt into your like that's what players have been doing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Bradley Beal comes up on the market. If Bradley Beal comes up on is available for a trade, then if I'm the New York Knicks, then yeah, you trade Cam Reddish, you trade Emmanuel quickly, you give them 4 first-round picks, and you may have to give up Obi Toppin or Quentin Grimes. It may have to be 2 players and 2 first-round picks. What did I say? 3 players already? Cam Reddish, Emmanuel quickly, maybe one other player and 4 first-round picks. And if that's what they want, you give them that for Bradley Beal because you'll have what you want. Or if you have to give up R.J. Barrett and maybe 3 first-round picks, you do that. Like I'm serious. Like I know people thinking I'm crazy, but no, you definitely you do that. You just changed colors on me. Why did you do that? My camera did something weird. Like I thought it had like some kind of weird blue U on it for a second there. And now that whatever it did. Okay, never mind. I think my dumbass just figured it out. You did too, right? Yeah, it's definitely that because now it looks white. Okay, I see what's going on here. Screw you, buddy. That's dope as fuck, ain't it? That championship belt is what I mean. Ooh, let's go. Let's see if I can get wrestling. Let's see where I signed into my wrestling. Let's see where I signed into my Hulu account at, because that one's telling me to re-sign back in, and I thought I did that already. You ain't shit. Let's see. Is that gonna force you to change again? You ain't shit. How you do that? You won't even change back. You're an asshole. I really thought we took care of this already. I have one more remote to try, and I don't know where that remote is at. So I guess we won't be catching up on any more wrestling tonight. Okay, Sarah. Let's get back into the sports. I'm still kind of, bare knuckle fighting league. Shit. Yes, please. Alright, let me see. They have some ACC basketball classic. North Carolina versus Wake Forest 2019. Cam Johnson leads the Tar Heels into Winston-Salem. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, we got choices. But we got some esports we can watch. But that bare knuckle fighting league, that thing just popped out at me like, hey, what about me, B? Like, I'm here too. Fuck it, let's put this on. It's gonna be gruesome. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, he's covering up. Oh, he went down. Punches and bunches. Think I'm fine. I'm good. Stopped it. Eye is cut. So the bare knuckle league fights in a circled ring. This is interesting. As you see, every sport adopt down their own ring style. You know, you have the octagon, then you have the squared rings, the squared circles, or whatever. Now you actually have a circle. I almost call it a square circle. I was like, oh, it's a ring circle. It's a circled ring. Oh, no, it's a real circle ring. Punches and bunches. Oh, mouthpiece came off. Then he caught him on the cheek. Held him up. Oh, then he went down. Oh, then he comes in again. Spits his mouthpiece out. Oh, that's why I kept on spitting the mouthpiece out. And then he goes down again. Telling someone I'm good. Nah, you ain't good, B. You done. You basically quitting. You're kind of asking for the ref to stop the fight for you. And then you want to say, like, I'm good. Sheesh. Between this and the slap and that new slap league, man, This is some harsh shit. God damn. Like, put back on the gloves, man. Like, you understand? Pretty soon, we're gonna get back into weaponized combat sports. Watch. You just wait. We are getting so close. We're getting so close. It's gonna start off with sticks. Watch. It's gonna start off with sticks. It's gonna literally start off. Oh my God. With all of those competitions, but all of those being stick forms. And then one day we'll get to blades. And then we'll just accept it as a society. May not be alive for that one, but we'll see. Hopefully I am. That'll be interesting. Alright. So yeah, I'm really and truly hoping that Bradley Beal pops up open on the market. And if there's some low-key talks, I really hope they can get him. But also we'll find it odd that somebody like Bradley Beal could be available for trade. Right, somebody like Bradley Beal could be available for trade. And there be no rumors about it. I can understand some of these other pieces, but or I can even understand maybe somebody being available for trade and a team swoops in there that you didn't think was in the running. But for a guy like Bradley Beal, period, to be available for trade, that makes me wonder. So that's what makes me wonder, period, because the names that I gave you are some of the most unspectacular names that we've ever had at the trade deadline. It's almost like everybody is locked into their contract and nobody is available, which makes me think that somebody is available and there's somebody really keeping it out under wraps. For once. Like, for once, they're like, yo, we don't want this to leak. Like, if this leaks, deal is done. You understand? Like, so I am very curious if there's gonna be, we're gonna come back and we're gonna check, obviously, because we'll probably have our answer by Friday, so we'll check on Friday's show. Right? Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and write that in for Friday's show. Free agency results. And because one of the first things I want to see is any of these guys that I mentioned to you today, if any of them happen to move, or if any of them stayed, and then after that, if anybody that we weren't expecting, if they made a move, and exactly where did they move to? Because you heard what Shaq said, like, Lakers got Huchimara, but it was like I don't like Huchimara doesn't move the needle for me. What about Bradley Beal? And I've been talking about Bradley Beal for a couple of years now. Like, what about Bradley Beal? We know there's a level of unhappiness there because they're not quite doing their Thug Dizzle. So how come we can't find a way to get Bradley Beal out of there? I really hope there's something in the working, because the Knicks need to find their next piece. Their next piece needs to come from somewhere. Julius Randle is nice, and where did that noise come from? Julius Randle, he's nice and he's okay, right? Jalen Brunson, he's nice and he's okay. You have a lot of nice, okay pieces. You need a guy that is a bona fide killer, bona fide problem that doubles their output on a given night, every single night, consistently. Basically, the other team is going to have to force the double team, which makes those guys better, which makes what those guys do now on a regular basis even more beneficial. because now they never ever become the bulk of attention. Because at the moment they become the bulk of attention, they no longer perform the same. These guys are always the bulk of attention, and they always manage to put up 30, always manage to put up 25, always, put up 40-point games in 6-game stretches. Now, Julius Randle has been doing some of that. Julius Randle just hasn't, actually I shouldn't say he hasn't been worth the double team. It's just that he can't work the double team. Or it's not really equated to winning. And also at times, this is just what the Knicks are. The Knicks with Julius Randle even doing this is just what they are. 6 seed, 7 seed, 5 seed, 8 seed. If this was the old format, they'll be a playoff team in the regular sense of it. As it currently goes right now, they're just a postseason team. Which doesn't guarantee playoffs. You may succumb to the play-in. So they need a guy that can put them into the top 3. I think that could be Bradley Beal. I think that could be a guy like Bradley Beal. I've heard a weird name pop up. I've heard a weird name pop up for the offseason. And that name is Kyrie Irving. Again. And, oh my God. I'll tell you right now, as I said, I've been impressed with Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving comes to Brooklyn, decides to come to the New York Knicks, right? He has to know what he's getting himself into, right? As I said, anybody that comes to the Knicks now, they know what they're getting themselves into. Because you know the culture, you know the coach, Tom Thibodeau, you know you're going to be forced to play defense, you know you're going to be coached up, and you're going to be forced to work. With everybody else doing what they're doing, Kyrie Irving is kind of the perfect match. That's the reason why Donovan Mitchell would have fit so well. That's the reason why Donovan Mitchell probably was the perfect fit. To plug in that shooting guard. And have him be the guy. And then Jalen Brunson could also be the guy. And then also, you understand, because it would have given you 4 guys that could put up 20 points in a game. But one guy that was definitely putting up 30. We had Julius Randle that was definitely going to get his 20 and 10. You had Jalen Brunson that was probably always going to get his 20 and 8. It would just be up to RJ Barrett to keep putting up a 20 burger as well. And you have that, and you have a formula for constantly putting up over 100 points a game. With a bona fide closer. I guess that's what I'm looking for. They don't have that bona fide closer. That bona fide closer killer. They don't have that King Cobra yet. Let's see. We've had a couple of movements going on in the NBA this past week. You know what? Let's get something new in here, right? Something I've been. Hey now, wait, what? Listen, let's get something new in here. Something that I have been working on, right? And you know what? Though every once in a while we don't do this very often, but we will give you a nice little rundown of the power rankings. So let's go ahead and get these power rankings ready for you. And listen, just the top 5. Nothing major, nothing special. Let's get a bit. Coming in at number 5, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, right? They recently just fell. They have a record of 32-18. Right, their next 3 games, they're going to be taking on the Portland Trail Blazers of Cleveland. Wait, was that tonight? No, that was Atlanta. Portland Trail Blazers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and also the Toronto Raptors. Also, next up, coming in at number 4. Right, we have the Milwaukee Bucks coming in at number 4, right? Hold on 1 second. Oh. I see that and I feel it. Oh, that's going to sound great on here. Oh, man. I told you, these allergies are no joke. Okay. Right, coming in number 4, we had the Milwaukee Bucks. Current record of 33-17. Right, they. Ooh. I forgot to drop down their numbers if they fell or they dropped. So I don't know if they stayed the same as well. But for them, they have remaining in their schedule, right, for this coming up week. They're gonna be facing. Now, okay, let me do this a little bit of help. Memphis has some issues, right? Memphis has a bunch of issues, and ever since they got into their beef with Shannon Sharp, right, which I really was trying to figure out when did they start this losing streak. Ever since they got into their beef with Shannon Sharp, oh, look at this next round of the bare knuckle fight. Oh, he caught one on the chin. I'm telling you, you see this, you see what you see in like with the bare knuckle fighting thing, right? I don't know why I feel like the key here is punches and bunches, like a real fight. Like, listen, man, like. Ain't no setups, ain't a lot of jabbing going on. Like, you want to force this guy to eat your shit. And constantly have to deal with that, like, on their bare body and face. Ooh. But you do see... What? What'd he do? 1 second. I gotta hear this penalty. What? Oh, okay. He caught him with a backhand. I was like, I don't know what I saw. I thought he couldn't duck. Okay, so there was no warning. Ooh, they said there was no warning in that. He went straight to a point deduction. There's a lot of haymakers thrown in the bare knuckle brawl. Right, or bare knuckle fighting championship fight. Right, that's what it's called. But Fight Club. I don't know what the C stands for in BKFC. But yeah, there's a lot of feints there. But you see, what you do see, okay, there go some jabbing. You see after after the flurry of punches that come out in the first, take a point away from him as well. Hey, yo. Oh yeah, it was right there. Sorry, I'm watching this flurry go back and forth. I apologize. I don't even know how to describe this right now. It's a lot of haymakers. It's a lot of hooks. Right? It looks like a regular fight. It honestly looks like a regular fight. A lot of haymakers, a lot of hooks, a lot of wild punches, a lot of big swings, a lot of early misses, a lot of big, like probably being able to telegraph, like the person's throwing duck underneath it. Right? And then when you're gassed after 90 seconds of throwing everything that you have, then you kind of see them jabbing each other out. But I think I see already a pattern. A lot of punches and bunches early on. See if you can devastate your opponent, because jabbing doesn't work early. But when you're both tired, that's when that other technique. That's when that other jabbing, other technique comes on. I see some more jabbing coming on from buddy in the white shorts. Who's that? Brazier? Perry? Let's see. They don't have the name. I'm watching Page versus Perry. This is a middleweight main event. I also don't know how old this is, too. This is a Triller event. But they going after it. They going after it. Boy, god damn. Yo, he is lumped and he is leaking all over the place. And the referee just stopped it. And brought him over to the judge. This is the same dude in the white shorts that started using the jab technique. Okay, doctor looked at where the cuts are at. He said everything was good. He's calling him back into the ring. Okay, this is round 2 of 5. Hey yo, I'm telling you, like I'm watching this and I'm like, shit, because you get lumped up fast. You could. Oh, he did the backhand again. It's a habit that he has. Bam, bam, got. Oh, backhand again. Another point. He keeps backhanding him. We got 10 minutes left into the show. Oh, this is funny. I gotta get. Okay, let's finish up here, right? I didn't even know I was gonna be enjoying this so much. It's because he keeps getting fired. He's fucking the dude up, right? So, I haven't figured out who he is yet. But Buddy in the black shorts, he's fucking the dude in the white shorts. But he keeps getting penalized for backhands. And it's just a habit. He comes in here, they clinch, and he just comes right back. Like, can you do that in boxing? Can't remember. But I guess there's none of that in the thing. It has to be all straight punches, hooks. Man, these clinches are well. Did he catch him with an elbow right there? Ooh, that one hurt. That one hurt. He caught him to the liver. Oof. 11 seconds left. 10. 9. They still jabbing. They going after it. Dude's eye is leaking. He's wiping the blood away. Wiped the blood away twice. Now the referee's going to examine him for blood. He saw it twice. He wiped away the blood. So now they're gonna examine and see if that cut is in a bad place to get into his eye. That's what they're looking at. Okay, there's like he can continue. He's good. Okay, they're both good. I'll have 10 seconds left to go in this second round. Little jab, feinting each other out, and it's time. Alrighty. Somebody's going down in this third. I'm telling you right now. Somebody is going down in this third. They're not gonna last, or it's gonna stop in this third. Neither one of them is gonna last much longer. Jesus, and you can see there's broken noses that has happened right here. Hit him right there. Damn, he hit him in the forehead. Open up the cut. Bam, caught him. Damn, bam. There goes the backhand again. They're showing the replay. Okay, let's continue, right? So we had, like I said, we had Memphis. We had Memphis in at number 5 in the power rankings, right? They've been falling, right? They fell all the way, if I'm not mistaken, from number 3, right? And currently, right now, they've been in a slum ever since. They've been in a slum ever since they faced. Let's get this turned around. Apparently, I keep leaning this way, but they've been in a slum ever since they faced the Lakers and they got into that beef with Shannon Sharp, right? They've lost, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 of their last 7 games, or 5 of their last 6 games, or maybe all of their last 5 games, right? So they've really been on a slump lately. Their next opponents are Portland, Cleveland, and Toronto, and neither one of them are also guaranteed wins. Like I said, Damian Lillard, Anthony Simmons, Chauncey Billups. This has been a rejuvenated Portland squad this year, and when they play Memphis, they're not going to go down easily. Then you're talking about facing Cleveland, and I'm gonna have to check and see if by then, if the hamstring of Donovan Mitchell, god damn, he knocked him out the ring. Stumbled hard. Dude in the black shorts got caught. I missed it. So you good? I'm good. Let's go. Alright. Let's see. Comes at him. Right, doing in the white. She comes out with a jab, puts him in there, puts his forearm in his neck, punches and bunches. Doing the black shorts is covering up. He's covering up. Referee stops it. It's a wrap. And I thought dude in the white shorts was losing. Hey, yo! That's a whole... Oh, wait a minute. This is a whole station to this? Don't tell me that. Hold on. Let me see the stations. Okay, Fubu Sports Network. But Bare Knuckle Championship tonight, all the way up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And they got some classic boxing. And it's crazy that I'm already on the Fubu Sports Network. Like, I was automatically stopping here and didn't realize it. But hey, yo, let's continue. I forgot we still had less than 10 minutes left into the podcast. Right? Yeah. So Memphis is gonna have some problems. They're gonna have some problems. They're gonna have to really figure themselves out because they've been taking a slide lately, and they've been talking big. They've been talking big. Remember, right before that incident with Shannon Sharp, John Morant did an interview. And he said, listen, the only person that they see as a problem in the West is Boston because they don't see nobody in the West. So now they've put a big ass target on their back. We got 5 minutes left into the podcast. Damn, it's that time already? Number 4 in the power rankings is Milwaukee with a record of 33-17. Their next 3 games is going to be against Charlotte, the Clippers, and Miami. Charlotte is probably going to be okay. I'm not worried about Toronto, to be honest with you. That's why I didn't talk about Toronto. Memphis probably has to worry about. Memphis only really has to worry about Portland and Cleveland. But for Milwaukee, they have Charlotte, Clippers, and Miami. Charlotte, not too worried about them. They'll probably end up winning against Charlotte. For the Clippers, you never know what version of the Clippers you're going to get. But let's assume that Milwaukee has, just already is going to come in there with some gripes to pick anytime they're going to be playing against any type of team that Kawhi Leonard is on. And then coming out to Miami, that's a division opponent that has eliminated you out the playoffs before, so you're going to want to try to take them seriously. There's a little gripe there. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that damn. So, what happened is that dude in the black shorts, he came in. So there's a lot of wild swings. So he swung. Then the white shorts came underneath it, came up Tyson style, caught him with the hook right on the chin, completely rocked him. Right? Next you saw a dude standing there for a second like, oh, shit, you can ring my bell, ring, and I started covering up. And that's when the referee stopped it. Okay, so the guy who just won that fight was Danny Christie. Alrighty, and Terry Brazier was the guy that just got knocked out. See, and yeah, Brazier was winning, landed 72 of his punches, right? Strikes in the clinch, right? Landed more of those, 52 of his thrown, 61, 85%. The other guy only landed 28 of his thrown 38 punches. Right, he was throwing more and he was landing at a better percentage. Just got caught. I told you he was winning. Just got caught. They could have put the other dude down. What did I tell you? Somebody was going down in that third. I told you somebody was going down in that third. They were not coming out of that third. I told you that. Now let's move on to the third place team. Currently in the rankings is the Denver Broncos, Denver Nuggets, right? They have a record of 34-16 over this past week, right? And they take on the New Orleans Pelicans, Golden State Warriors, Atlanta Hawks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Have a very busy week with 4 games on their schedule. And 4 games that they can very easily lose. This is going to be a test to the Denver Nuggets. Let's see how they come away with this one. I honestly don't have a prediction. They should beat New Orleans. They should beat Golden State. They should beat Atlanta. They should beat Denver. Honestly, they should beat everybody on this list. Maybe they don't beat Atlanta. But, the Golden State Warriors. If the Golden State Warriors plays everybody, but the Golden State Warriors have been struggling their damn selves, so they should be able to catch them. I'm sorry, you're the 2-time former MVP. Go ahead and show. I know the Golden State Warriors are the champions, but you're MVP. Show them that you're trying to break into that next level and take out all of these guys. To be honest with you, if I'm looking at Denver, Boston Celtics, they dropped down 1 spot from number 1 down to number 2, a record of 36-15. Their next 2 opponents are going to be the Brooklyn. 1 minute left. The Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. I pretty much see them beating both these teams too. Brooklyn don't have enough firepower, and Phoenix is going to be a good game. And then 76ers take on Orlando twice, who they should beat. Then they take on the San Antonio Spurs, who they should beat. And also the New York Knicks, who they should beat. Even though the New York Knicks just recently beat them, because New York Knicks just play hard sometimes. And they give themselves a 50-50 chance. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens if Joel Embiid puts on the kind of performance he did against Denver and Joakim Noah at that time when he put on 40 on him doing step back 3-pointers. I'm out of here. Mighty Sports Podcast. Play my outro. Nah, you know how that goes. Stop it right now.